Hello everybody, this is Kelly with Pretty Presets. The other day I posted a gorgeous photo of this family that I edited with the preset Dune from the Bohemian collection, and then I used some of the brushes from the Sugar and Spice collection to enhance the trees in the background. I did get some feedback that people wanted to see a video, and I actually thought that was a great idea, so here I am. It is always fun to see other people edit and the process that they use to achieve the end result. I know I always enjoy watching other people edit and see what they do to get the final product. And I also think it's important to keep in mind that when you apply a preset, that it's not, for the most part, going to be an instant fix. You are going to have to adjust some things, the exposure, the highlights, the saturation, shadows. So those are some of my go-to tweaks that I use whenever I do edit. But for this photo, I usually have a bright, crisp edit, and I was just playing around and thought I wanted to go a little bit darker with this one, and I actually ended up loving the result. And I haven't edited their session yet, but I think I am going to go with Dune for that session. I like to keep it the same for the most part. Okay, so I went up to my Dune, and as you can see, it applied the preset. But just as is, I don't love this. It's very cool. The highlights are really blown out. So those are some of the first things that I'm going to fix. So I'm going to take the highlights down to -46. I'm going to drop the exposure down to -0.59. And I'm going to come over to this whites slider, and I'm going to take that down to -57, if I can hit on it correctly. I wish you could type it in. Oh, you can. See, you learn something new every day. That's awesome. I never knew you could do that. Okay, it's still a little cool for my liking, so I'm going to come up to the temperature, and I'm going to take it to 69.49. And there it warmed it up just where I wanted it. I'm very excited about that because now they don't look blue. And the tint I'm going to take to, oops, sorry about that, to 40. Just to kind of get rid of a teeny tiny bit of the green on the photo and make it a little more pink, specifically for their skin tone, not so much for the background, the trees and the grass and things like that. Okay, another thing that I actually did to this photo was I came down to the tone curve, and I brought this down just a tiny bit, and I brought these last two up just a tiny bit. And that does affect some of the highlights and also the matte effect that the preset gives the photo. Although I do love a matte preset, I did want it just to be a little bit less, and you do that with the tone curve right here. Okay, so now I have my photo, but I live in South Carolina, and the trees aren't exactly changing yet. Some are, most are not. So I come over to my brush adjustments, and I scroll down to my Sugar and Spice set. Lots of brushes. And I use my Enhance Orange. Got my brush here, and I just slightly painted where I saw a little bit of orange in the trees. And then I came over here to the saturation, and I just made it a little bit less, I wanted it to look a little more natural. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but you don't have to click out of a brush to start a new brush. You can simply click this new right here, and then you can choose a new brush. Otherwise, if you don't click the new, whatever brush that you select will override the brush that you just applied. And I'm sure if many of you use brushes, you learned that the hard way. The last brush that I used was this color, green to yellow. How awesome is that? Because guess what? Everything is green. And I want to give it a little fall look. So I'm just simply painting on some of the yellow just to enhance that background a little bit. Just a little here and there. Happy trees. I also like to humor myself, so just bear with me. Okay. And there you have it. I'm done. I love it. And you can go down here to my little before and after, and you can see what a difference it made from my straight out of camera to my edited version. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see the history. So I applied my preset. I adjusted the highlights, the exposure, the whites, and the temperature and the tint. Just slightly even. It wasn't even a major change. I messed with the tone curve a tiny bit, and then I did these brush strokes for the leaves, and that was it. Had I not been recording this, this would have been a less than a minute edit on this photo. And if I wanted to, I could sync it to the rest of these photos. All of these down here that I haven't edited yet, I could do that. I simply click the picture that I just edited. I'm actually going backwards, so I apologize. I usually edit forwards. Select all, and you do that by just clicking the Shift key. Select all of the pictures that you want to have the same edit. You press this little sync button. Well, you do have to click what you want. If I do want to sync the brushes, I do have to click the brush, which normally I don't sync the brushes, but for this, I will. Synchronize them, and look at them all change. I mean, does editing get any easier than this, you guys? Seriously, the sync button? It's the best invention ever. And it's all done. Edited one photo, sync the rest, and I'm done. I hope this helped. I hope this helped some new Lightroom people that have just joined the group. There is tons to learn in Lightroom. Please view all the other videos that we have available. And I really do hope that you enjoyed this edit. If you have any questions, just comment on the thread, and I'll be in and out all day. I do have some sessions this evening, but I will be in and out to answer any questions that you might have. Thanks, guys.